All right, I think we'll go ahead and get started and do some of the introductory pieces. We want to thank you very much for being on with us today. This is Lead the Break, Student-Powered Safe Spring Break campaigns. We are very excited about what we have to present today. I want to make this webinar interactive, but before we get to that, just so you know, we offer lots of webinars and trainings through the BACCHUS initiatives, which are now part of NASPA. We want you to know that we have picked our dates for General Assembly, November 13th through 16th, 2014, so please mark your campus or your calendars. And we are also very happy you come out to your campuses to do facilitated trainings, and you can find out more about these trainings and what's available on our website, which is BACCHUSnetwork.org. Very excited today to have this presentation. We are able to offer it to you free thanks to the generosity of the Century Council, who is helping to co-sponsor our Safe Spring Break campaign. With us is Fadi Sikali from the Century Council Programs Director, and he will, after we explain a little bit about Safe Spring Break, he has a great announcement about a wonderful contest that your campuses and students can participate in. Also with us is David, and I didn't put his name up there, that's funny, but I'm assuming you all know him as David Arnold. He's Director of Alcohol Abuse and Prevention Initiatives. And of course, I am Ann Quinn-Zovek, Senior Director of BACCHUS Initiatives and Training. So we at BACCHUS have been doing Safe Spring Break campaigns for a long, long time. I was thinking about that today, and I will definitely date myself if I tell you how long I remember doing Safe Spring Break campaigns. And we're always excited to put this information out there. But I think one of the important things to talk about is why Safe Spring Break campaigns and why now. We know that it's really important that Safe Spring Break be part of a larger sort of year-round campaign of wellness. But we like the idea of Safe Spring Break in that it really gives us a chance to kind of remind students of all the things that we've been telling them throughout the year as they head out for that week off. We also know that this can be a very high-risk time, that there are students who will look at this as a chance to take a break from their studies, and they may not make, even though they've maybe made healthy decisions the rest of the time, they are at risk to maybe do some decisions or do some activities that may be harmful to them. You get to address a lot of really important collegiate issues like distracted driving, sexual health, and sun safety, all in kind of one great week. And we also want to correct the misbehavior about students, or the misperception about students' behavior, that most students do make healthy choices and that many of our students are really choosing to do some great things during spring break. So we are very excited about the campaign this year, and the Lead the Break, Make It Safe is our theme. We hope that you can use that and adapt it. So section 1, I'm going to walk through the toolkit that you will find that we are in the process of updating on our website so that you will see the new Lead the Break logo on it soon. But you're welcome to look at last year's toolkit. It's up there and has some great information. But the first section, of course, is to introduce Safe Spring Break. It talks a lot about how your peer education groups can use the toolkit. And if you haven't started a peer education group on your campus, please search our website. There's lots of good information on how to start a group. We also talk a lot about how to use social media. We are using the hashtag Lead the Break for this campaign. And we, as I said, we're going to introduce the Lead the Break contest. And we also have promotional items this year, which will be stadium cups that you can use to make Safe Spring Break kits, as well as some sunscreen packets. And there's many other things on our website that you can use in order to promote Safe Spring Break with your students. Section 2 talks in more specific on the role of peer educators. We really hope you involve students in developing this week. If it's not something you've started talking about, this is a great time to really introduce this concept. Get them to look at the toolkit and maybe even watch this webinar. But we want students to, students have a lot of great ideas. I know when I was an advisor, my students' ideas for themes and campaigns were really a lot of fun, and it got them excited, and they in turn got their peers excited. There is a lot of data. You can find this on our website about why use peer educators, because peers have that direct access. They have that outreach ability. They can be in places that we as a professional staff member can't, and they're there at times when students are making the decision. So having the students talk about why it's important to stay safe on spring break and do some positive activities really has an impact, probably more so than some of the professional staff talking about it. And this is a great learning opportunity. We do address in the toolkit learning outcomes for peer educators. If your campus is using learning outcomes, as student leaders, developing campaigns and implementing programs is a wonderful learning experience. It really helps students take from what they've learned in their classroom and put it into practical experience. It develops a lot of great skills. Section 3 talks about health promotion and prevention. We want things to be evidence-based and evidence-informed. It's very important that we do things on campus that will have an impact. We know from research that, while crashed cars and dead days oftentimes attract attention, and students do remember that, it doesn't often change behavior. So there is a difference. So we do some reviews of evidence-based strategies to address things like alcohol abuse and impaired driving. The NIAAA, the National Institutes of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, call to action gives some real important information about their research into what has been effective. And this section really helps your peer education group. It's a great way to talk through with your peer education group because your students are excited and they'll talk about things that maybe they did in high school or things that they've heard done on other campuses that may not be effective. So by using this section, you can really talk your group through what's effective and what you want to do for college students so that their behavior will change. In section number 4, we talk more about why Safe Spring Break, some of the issues you want to address for high-risk behaviors, and promoting the fact that that the majority of students do make healthy choices. And this is, again, it's just a great time to really promote health. Section 5. Talk about what's in the toolkit. There's some programming ideas. You can take a look at what other campuses have done. There's great information. And then also the Safe Spring Break Pledge. One of the things that we really encourage you to do, there's a pledge that you can download. We really encourage you to have students sign a pledge. There is evidence that, when students take the time to sign something, they're more likely to think about it and adhere to what they sign. And so we really encourage you to make an effort to get students to sign that Safe Spring Break Pledge. Section 6 really goes over some planning if you're new to peer education or new to campaigns. This is a great section to help you plan out what your week will be like, and also gives you some great tips on identifying some campus partners. We want to be sure that you know who your campus partners are, that you involve them in order to really get outreach to lots of students on campus. There's program planning ideas as well as fundraising ideas, because sometimes it does cost a little bit if you can put if you want to do some really fun things. Section 7 gives you, again, those sample programs, what's been available on campus, and also has some information about alternative spring break. I know there are folks who do alternative spring break on their campus, and this is a great time to promote that, as well as really when you get to the contest, you'll see there's a special opportunity for folks who do alternative spring break to enter that contest. Road safety is really important. We have a lot of students who are traveling. Even if they're not going to a Safe Spring Break, they are going home. Oftentimes this comes after midterms. We want folks to be alert, aware, rested when they're on the highway. There's great ways to talk about that. We also want folks to know about alcohol abuse and driving safety, that they really, need to be aware of how their blood alcohol concentration works and interferes with their driving. And that there's a lot of traffic safety rules that we want them to pay attention to and not to be distracted while they're driving. Section 9 is talking about some of the other things. Sun safety. A lot of times our students are going out, even if they're going home, it may be warm where they go and they want to go outside, but it's important that they recognize the issue of protecting their skin, that even if they're staying around campus or in the area, there's safety issues to be concerned about, or if they're going someplace where they've never been before, they need to be safe. And think about things like predatory drugs, sexual assault, sexually transmitted diseases, as well as even simply the flu, those things that can knock them out. And then we also have some information about social smoking, as that sometimes a safe spring break, people may try behaviors that they haven't tried, that they don't normally do. And even though students may perceive social smoking that, hey, I just have one or two every now and then, as not an issue, it can lead to an addiction, and we want them to be aware of that. So all that information is in the manual in Section 9. Section 10 is your resources. It's a great place to look up national partners, find websites for additional information on assessment and materials and programming that you may find very, very helpful in creating your campaign. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Fadi to talk about the Century Council's participation in Lead the Break and their great contests that they're offering to everyone who's listening, as well as all our campuses. So go ahead, Fadi.
All right. Thank you, Anne. Thanks for the introduction. Again, my name is Fadi Saikli. I'm the Programs Director at the Century Council, and we will be talking to you today about how your students can make a difference this spring break. I'll start first with a brief introduction about the Century Council. We we lead the fight against drunk driving and underage drinking, and we also promote responsible decisions regarding beverage alcohol. We have been assisting colleges and universities for the past almost 2 decades in fighting college binge drinking, and we believe in a comprehensive approach where all the stakeholders, students, administration, faculty, health and wellness, parents, everybody's involved in eliminating binge drinking on college campus, and that's the approach we take. And we believe that students are a major stakeholder, so we turn to them to find creative and innovative solutions, because they are in touch with, they're the audience, and they know what resonates with their peers. So some of the programs that we had developed in the past, I'm sure some of you are familiar with Alcohol 101 Plus, Parents You're Not Done Yet brochure. We've sent that out to millions and millions of students and their parents. Some of our student-led campaigns, and if you go to our website, you can find more of our initiatives, our research regarding college binge drinking, and how we are planning on fighting that and reducing binge drinking on college campuses. So this year, in collaboration with the BACCHUS Network and part of their Safe Spring Break initiative, we're excited to unveil our latest initiative, which is Lead the Break. Now, why do we call it Lead the Break? First of all, we know that students don't always just go to the beach and hang out and have a good time at, debauchery and all that stuff. We know that they work part-time jobs, that they have they do community service, they spend time with their families and friends, and catch up on their studies. However, unfortunately, with the media tends to cover the sensational, and the public opinion about spring break is not usually positive, and we believe that it doesn't reflect the reality of things. We decided that this contest, because of the numbers, we're going to have this contest to basically show the realities of spring break and how students engage in responsible behavior during spring break as well. So we had a national survey of 1,000 full-time college students, and it showed some numbers that we think we should highlight. 31% of students go home to visit family and friends. 26% plan to work during spring break. Some plan to participate in alternative spring break programs. And a lot of students, the majority of students, 58% to be exact, don't think the media portrays how students spend their time during spring break accurately. So this is the reasoning behind the contest, and we wanted to basically be able, through the partnership with BACCHUS, to reach 8,000 student leaders and have students set an example for their peers and basically share the reality of spring break with the public. Now, so again, just to reiterate, the contest basically aims to encourage students to set an example for their peers, give students a chance to break from the norm, celebrate spring break responsibly, be able to show the reality of how they spend their spring breaks doing productive stuff, and educate the public on the realities of spring break. And this is how it works. The contest, basically, the students just have to take a picture of him, herself, having a productive and valuable spring break. They don't have to be in the picture. They can take a picture, for example, of a house and say that they're helping Habitat for Humanity during this spring break. They need to post the photo on their Instagram and hashtag Lead the Break and hashtag their school name as well, their university name. Once they put those two hashtags, the photo will be uploaded to the Lead the Break website, and they'll be entered in the gallery, and they'll be able to participate in the contest. And they will get a chance to win a cool prize, which I will go over soon, plus a donation to their local BACCHUS chapter. So here's an example. Basically, the student takes a picture, uploads it. You can see the hashtag Lead the Break and the hashtag University of Alabama. And this is just an example. We're not being biased. And basically, you upload it, you get it to the gallery, and the students basically are. This way, they have entered the contest, and they can enter as many pictures as they want during the whole spring break, during the whole week, or just one. It depends on what they're doing. But we just want to highlight that it has to be productive and such. So what we're hoping that you guys will do is to encourage your student to participate in this contest. So drive them towards the website, post it on flyers, let them know that this contest, they can win lots of prizes. And it'll help basically get students involved in responsible behavior, and you can promote it, and you can say that your students are part of making a change on campuses during this spring break. So here are the details. The website will be live starting right after this webinar. It's www.leadthebreak.com. Students will be able to upload photos up until April 15th. And a panel of judges from the Century Council and the BACCHUS Network will be basically selecting the winners based on the following criteria, which is creativity. The picture must clearly portray a productive activity during spring break. It has to have a caption that encourages their friends to, celebrate responsibly and have a good, safe time during spring break and not do anything that is out of the norm. And definitely the hashtags for the universities. And here are the prizes. This is the cool part. So the first place prize wins an Apple MacBook Air and a $1,000 donation to their local BACCHUS chapter. Second place prize is an Apple iPad with a $500 donation to the BACCHUS chapter. And third place prize is an Apple iPad mini with a $250 donation to the BACCHUS chapter. And here's the timeline. So today the website is live. The survey results that I mentioned earlier, will be released. The full survey will be released on the week of March 3rd. And now we know that there's no national day when spring break starts. We know it's March and April. So through March and April, until April 15th, the students can upload pictures. And then the week of April 21st, we will be announcing the winners and the runner-ups. And finally, during the BACCHUS Network General Assembly, which is November 13th to November 16th, we'll have a recap of the whole contest, share some pictures, and we will provide the prize of a $1,000 donation to the winning chapter or university. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them right now in the chat box. I can put my email in the chat box as well, so that you can email me any questions. And please feel free to visit the website for more information as well.
Fadi, will they be able to do Instagram videos for this contest?
I don't believe the gallery takes up the videos. It's mostly pictures at this time. But that's a good. Well, I mean, we didn't account for video Instagrams. No, it's just pictures at this point.
when we're thinking about Lead the Break and the Safe Spring Break campaign, there's a question about would it be available to use the promotional media that Century Council and BACCHUS develops? And let's go to Fadi first on the Lead the Break promotional logo and design.
We can definitely send you the logos if you want to like disseminate the information and stuff like that. That's not going to be a problem. As long as you know, basically it refers them to the website and just to the campaign. That's fine. We can send them the logos and all that stuff.
So I did want to ask a question that was about the survey, Fadi.
Sure.
The 1,000-student survey, were the respondents students across the nation? Was it a specific sample?
Yeah, it was a national survey, and it was 1,000 students, full-time college students, all across the nation.
Great. And then a really quick comment when we were talking about the Safe Spring Break Toolkit, we do recognize that a lot of the folks who are on today's call are from non-residential campuses, and there is an entire section in all of the toolkits that we do that address programming and environmental interventions for colleges and universities who don't necessarily have residence life and on-campus programs. So please do know that that is available. And that is available in all 4 of the toolkits, the National Collegiate Alcohol Awareness Week, the Tobacco Control and Policy Toolkit, Sexual Responsibility Week Toolkit, and the Safe Spring Break Toolkit. And then we've got a really great question submitted that there's a group who is doing a Safe Spring Break Carnival. They'll have several groups on campus promoting wellness, and they're going to have carnival games, which just sounds like a lot of fun. That what they're thinking about doing is having a photo booth where students can take pictures of what they plan on doing for spring break. The question I think that's coming out of this is would it be possible for the campus to submit those photos rather than the students themselves?
I don't see why that would be a problem. Except that if you want to submit the question, they have to be uploaded over Instagram. That's the only actually, Facebook can also, if you hashtag it, it will also pick it up. But it's mostly Instagram. So if they can upload it on their accounts, we're fine with that. But we actually, it's probably better to have the students. We want the students to be engaged in this. We want them to have to take the pictures. But if it involves students, we're okay with them posting photos on their behalf.
Yeah, so that sounds.
The only thing I would say, the only thing I would say is I would somehow you have to make sure that you've informed the students in some way, and that they agree to you uploading their photo. To Instagram.
And so exactly. So they can also be eligible for the prize. So if there's no student to get the prize, then it won't be eligible for. It'll be broadcasted and it'll be picked up in the gallery. But if there are no students, then it wouldn't be eligible for a prize.
All right. So it's probably better to go with individuals. But I love the idea of hosting a photo booth at a Safe Spring Break fair or carnival. What a wonderful idea.
And if it's manned by the students and it's students are working the booth, that's a productive way, and that's promoting safety and responsible behavior. So if a student can take a picture of it and upload it on his account, that works.
And then another great question, when will the BACCHUS Network store have materials for this campaign that's coming up?
We are working on that, and so we will certainly put out lots of information as soon as we do. There are spring break materials already in there, ones that will be branded with this campaign. It's probably going to take about 2 weeks to get all that uploaded. So. Again, we will get information out as soon as we have them available.
And to answer Katie's question, if you follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and if you email me as well, we're going to be blasting updates whenever we have them. It should be for more information, the website should be up in about 15 minutes, if not a bit more. And the website has all the information, but we will definitely be blogging out and Twitter and Facebook and all that, so that we keep everybody informed of what's happening in the contest. And again, the website, when it's live, you can feel free to download. It's basically a one-page flyer. You can just download, print it out, and distribute it all over campus. We're fine with that. It's all good. And if you need the logo, just send me an email so I can send it your way.
Well, I think if there aren't any other questions, we can start to wrap this up. I want to thank Fadi and the Century Council for their sponsorship and, coming up with these absolutely great prizes. We look very much forward to this contest and seeing what your campuses come up with. And we, love to hear about your ideas. And if you have any questions, feel free. My email's on there. Fadi has sent his email, and you will be hearing from us when we get this uploaded. We'll share the link with you so that you can share it with others. But we are very excited about this, and thank you all for your participation today. So I'm going to I'm going to stop the recording. Fadi, any last words before I sign off?
I just wanted to thank you for hosting and thank the BACCHUS Network for hosting and everybody for joining, and we're looking forward to see what your students can come up with.